and the Buccos have won back-to-back games for the first time in 2005. This afternoon, Dave Williams makes his third start of the year, facing the Cubs and Kerry Wood. Wood, the winless wonder of Wrigley. Button up your overcoat. The Husky brawling city of big shoulders offers a frigid welcome. Pirates baseball is next. From 1060 West Addison Street, it's the Pirates against the Chicago Cubs. Hi, friends, and a very pleasant good afternoon. Before we get the first pitch of the ball game, we'll have an interview with Curt Smith coming up in segment 2. And also Rob King takes us back to the 1960 World Championship year. That'll be coming up in segment 3. Well, the Pirates won yesterday. The Buccos came up with a couple of big hits off Greg Maddux in the 7th inning, one by Rob McCoviac, the other by Bobby Hill. Then Corey Patterson homered in the 8th, and the Cubs were leading 3-2 going into the 9th inning.
Yeah, and LaTroy Hawkins, he got fastball over to Jason Bay there, and Jason Bay made no mistake with the mistake pitch down the middle and drove it out to right field, and then that set up Freddie Sanchez, and Freddie with a 3-1 count. Rush had to come right at him, and I was surprised they might pitch around him there with first base open, but Freddie drives the ball into the gap and brings home the game winner.
That's a great point, because Jack Wilson, who's struggling, was behind Freddie Sanchez in the lineup yesterday. Well, the Pirates are unable to start Josh Fogg today because Fogg has an inner ear infection, and so Dave Williams gets the call.
Yeah, and Dave Williams has been throwing great, and he's got plenty of rest. He's had 5 days off since his last start Monday, and you know, Dave's been throwing good, and the 3, 4, 5 guys have been giving us solid starts each night, and there's no reason to think that Dave Williams wouldn't be effective today.
And on the mound for the Chicago Cubs, Kerry Wood. This will be Wood's 4th start of the year. He's 0-1.
Yeah, and Kerry Wood, the power pitcher, you know, he's going to get his strikeouts, and he's going to keep the guys in the Cubs in the games. And he's tough to hit, especially on a cold day like today in Chicago. And, you know, Kerry Wood's a great pitcher, and, you know, he got the good breaking ball, and, you know, and I expect the pitcher's duel today.
All right, the Buccos sending Dave Williams to the mound. It is indeed a cold day in Chicago. And coming up in a moment before the start of the ball game, we sit down and talk about the voices of the game with a baseball historian.
It's interesting. I talk to people that are involved in accidents, and I say to them, if I got you $1 million tomorrow, would it make you feel better, like it was worth it? No one that's seriously injured in an accident would ever take money. But I want to tell you something. If you've got medical bills to pay in the future and you've got no income coming in because of lost wages, you better have money, too.
For a free consultation, call 1-800-9-4-EDGAR.
You know this driver's biggest mistake? He never bought car insurance. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. We keep you legal for less.
What a story we have to tell you of the unforgettable and the almost forgotten, of heartbreaking defeats and triumphant victories. Dreamers who became Olympians, Pittsburghers who became champions, and champions who became Pittsburghers. The Western Pennsylvania Sports Museum, now open at the History Center.
Oh, you didn't have to be here to believe it.
This week on the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Cardinals ace Mark Mulder, NASCAR legend Jeff Gordon, and the lovely Pamela Anderson. This week at 10:30.
Tomorrow's technology is here today with Newhart's Neo-Grafting hair transplantation process. This simple outpatient procedure strategically harvests the follicular units from the donor site and transplants them into the thinning and balding area. Best of all, there are no stitches, no bandages, and no disruption to your busy schedule. Getting your own growing hair back has never been this easy or affordable. Call Newhart now for a free private, no-obligation consultation. 1-800-833-1958.
Enter the pre-owned zone for the used car you want at the price you want.
I'm Mike McWilliams, and we doubled the selection of the pre-owned zone with Pittsburgh East Nissan and West Hills Nissan.
You're now just minutes from Pittsburgh's best source for used cars and trucks.
So forget about your credit problems and talk to the credit construction crew. Double the selection, double the value.
West Hills Nissan, top of the runway, Moon Township. Call 262-9020.
And the all-new Pittsburgh East Nissan. Business 22, Wilkins Township in Rowville.
That's 824-9020.
You're watching FSN Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. A week ago when the Pirates were entertaining the Chicago Cubs, Curt Smith, who has been a presidential speechwriter and has written a number of books about baseball, made the trip down from Rochester, New York to Pittsburgh, and I had an opportunity to talk to Curt about his new book entitled Voices of Summer. My guest is a good friend from Rochester, New York, Curt Smith. Curt has written a number of books about Major League broadcasters. His newest book, Voices of Summer, catalogs the top 101 broadcasters in the big leagues. Why did you decide to write this?
Because I've been enamored since I was young with the hypnotic tapestry of play-by-play. And because for any baseball fan, radio and television are the umbilical cords, the connecting tissue between you and the game. And because these folks are extended members of the family of the great Voices of Summer. So I said, okay, baseball fans debate players and ballparks and managers. Why not broadcasters too?
What was the criteria?
10 criteria, all of which are objective: continuity, how long you've been with the club; longevity, how long you've done the game; network coverage, whether you've done national or not; the kind of honors you have; how popular you are; what you've done outside the game. 10 criteria, each on a 1 to 10 point scale. Perfect score is 100, and guess what? This will not shock you. Vin Scully of the Dodgers gets 100. He is the perfect voice of summer.
What about the other top 10 broadcasters?
From 10 to 1 would be Lindsey Nelson of the Mets. 10, Dizzy Dean, the monumentally popular CBS television Game of the Weeker, is 9. Jack Brickhouse, 8. I'm going to skip number 7 for just a moment. Harry Carey, 6. Red Barber, 5. Jack Bach, 4. Ernie Harwell, 3 rather. Mel Allen, the greatest voice in the history of sportscasting, number 2. Scully, 1. And number 7, the beloved gunner, my undergraduate announcer, having gone to school in Western Pennsylvania, the inimitable, beloved Bob Prince.
All right, Bob Prince, number 7. Why was Bob ranked number 7?
Well, he didn't do baseball as long as some of the other broadcasters. He didn't do the network coverage, but you know, when it came to the voice, the inimitable ability to entertain, to keep you riveted. If the score was 20 to 1, you'd still listen to the gunner. How sweet it was. You can kiss it goodbye. The Buccos had him all the way, and he did have us all the way, and in memory still does.
I'm a little surprised that Dizzy Dean ranked in the top 10.
Well, he was the first network broadcaster for baseball, the first network sports series. In fact, the CBS Game of the Week in the 50s and 60s. Small towns in Western Pennsylvania and upstate New York, where we grew up, the sidewalks would close of a weekend. And so his popularity and his niche and his importance was enormous.
I was also surprised, and you obviously know that this is going to cause a great deal of debate among baseball fans, and that'll be a lot of fun. I thought Red Barber might be number 3.
Well, I'm sure if you're in Brooklyn, you think he should. But he did the game for 33 years. Ernie Harwell of the Tigers did it for 54. And longevity plays an enormous part in baseball. Wearability, Lanny. Do you wear well? Can you come at people 162 games a season? And probably no one ever did that better than Ernie Harwell.
You told me earlier you thought wearability is one of the most important traits of a broadcaster.
Sure it is, because this ain't an event. It's not Armageddon. It's a fact of life. And boy, if you wear out your welcome, if you treat baseball as something it's not, no, you'll be gone before you can get to the second month of the season. You have to be a companion, to be a friend, to be a fact of life, and the truly great voices of summer have and are.
Well, Curt, good luck with the book. On behalf of my colleagues, thanks very much for caring enough to put this book together. Voices of Summer, cataloging the top 101 broadcasters of all time in Major League history. I'm quite certain that you'll enjoy it. If you can, pick up a copy of Curt Smith's book, Voices of Summer. Now, Curt mentioned at the outset of the interview about the hypnotic connection between baseball and baseball announcers. No doubt many of you were hypnotized by the 1960 Pirates, called by the gunner Bob Prince. And we've got a feature about the 1960 Pirates coming your way in a moment.
all-new Lincoln Mark LT. It's as powerful as it is luxurious, and as luxurious as it is powerful. Lincoln, travel well.
Come here, guys. Look at our field. We can't play here.
We can fix this.
This spring, Briggs & Stratton is revitalizing youth baseball fields all across the country. Now through April 30th, kids can nominate their field at BriggsDiamondsInTheRough.com. The grand prize is a $20,000 makeover and a baseball clinic hosted by Hall of Famers Lou Brock and Carlton Fisk. Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you.
Sorry about your car accident. I'm here from the insurance company. Good hands, good neighbors. We're on your side. Here's what I can do for you. Sign this with this one. Give up your rights, get a little bit of money. Of course, people who get a lawyer on average get 3.5 times more money than people that don't, but I get paid to get you to sign this, which means you lose. Sign here.
No, I've got a lawyer. I've got Edgar Snyder and Associates on my side.
But my job is to get you to sign this release form. If you sign this release form,
If you've been hurt in a car accident, don't take any fast talk from the insurance company. Call my law firm, Edgar Snyder and Associates, at 1-800-9-4-EDGAR.
help me out because I'm trying to help you out. I've already closed that door. Don't close that door because I...
Hey. Whew. Yeah. You look relaxed for somebody in your condition.
It's because I have Aflac.
What do you mean?
Oh, when I'm hurt and miss work, Aflac gives me cash to help pay bills my health insurance doesn't.
You mean like car payments?
Mm-hmm.
Electric bills? Mm-hmm. Or the rent?
Yep. Even food. Chinese is here.
Great. I love duck.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Welcome back to the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois. The Pirates getting set to take on the Chicago Cubs in the second game of what is now a two-game set because of the postponement on Friday. The Pirates winning yesterday 4-3. Well, we certainly enjoy the opportunity to go back and talk about the 1960 World Series and the Bill Mazeroski home run. Well, if you look at the record books, you know that Bob Friend made a couple of starts. Vinegar Ben Mizell made one. Vernon Law made 3 starts. Yes, he was the starting pitcher in Game 7 of the 60 World Series. Here's Rob King.
During his Cy Young winning season of 1960, Vern Law proved he could get hitters out as well as any pitcher in baseball.
He didn't get you out by overpowering you. He got you out by pitching. He could pitch. He was one of the best pitchers in the league as a pitcher. He knew how to pitch. He could go in here and out there, and he had a great control also.
Being a catcher, catching Vernon Law, you could talk to the umpire with your hand up here and talk to the umpire, and he'd throw right where the glove was at.
Which doesn't mean Law was some kind of lightweight either.
He was the strongest man I'd been around for his size. He would take those thick towels, and he would tear it in half. And if you've ever tried to tear one of those big towels, you've got to be strong.
And as the 60 season progressed, Law became the Pirates' top clutch pitcher.
Vernon was the man that stopped every losing streak we had that year. We lost 4 in a row twice, and he stopped the losing streak both times.
Law was a tough competitor on the field and a kind man off of it. As a devout Mormon, Law didn't drink, smoke, or swear.
They called him Deacon. He was a Mormon, super guy, straight-laced.
Vernon Law being a Mormon, and he was religious, and Smokey and they roomed together, so that was a great pair. You just had to have some sane people on that team.
Law was the greatest. Law was my idol. Law was the only guy that never said a word bad about anyone in the world.
And Law says his clean lifestyle helped to make him a better pitcher.
I always felt if I got my rest, that I ate properly, and that I trained and did everything I could, I would be successful as a player. You know, I didn't need all this other stuff going on around me.
Law spent his entire career with the Pirates and won 162 games, a total that would have been much higher if he hadn't lost several years to arm trouble and 2 more to the service.
I have no regrets. You know, I really don't. Even though I had to struggle with the arm a couple of times, I certainly treasure the years that I had in Pittsburgh.
And the people who watched the Deacon or played with him felt the exact same way about him.
Quite a guy, Vance Law, the son of Vernon Law. Vernon and Vanita raised a strong family. We were fortunate to have one of Vernon's sons, Vance Law, played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And congratulations to Rob King. Rob has worked extremely hard on this special look at a team of destiny, the story of the 1960 World Championship Pittsburgh Pirates. This show will air in June. And we've got the start of the ball game coming up from Wrigley Field. Dave Williams on the mound against Kerry Wood.
Looking for a new SUV? We'll see over 300 new SUVs at Pittsburgh's SUV headquarters, the Barrel family of dealerships. Only Barrel has SUVs from Chevrolet to Toyota, Cadillac to Acura, along with SUVs from Honda, Mitsubishi, and Oldsmobile. That's 22 different models of SUVs. The Barrel family of dealerships, Pittsburgh's SUV headquarters, Route 19, Wexford and Cranberry. More of what you're looking for.
Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay nothing until April 2006. That's zero money down, 0% interest, and zero payments until April 2006. So why wait? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today.
Now, an incredible offer from Gillette. Try Sensor 3 disposable for free. 3 blades on springs that adjust to your face. Now try Gillette's best disposable shave free for a limited time. See your Sunday paper for details.
The marriage was built to last.
You are so awesome.
But the house was built too small.
This is kind of awesome.
How long are we here?
For 1 year, Sparks will fly.
This is not awesome.
I just want to make an omelet.
Oh, are you kidding me?
The drama will be real, but it won't save you any money on car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?
It is a sunny day in Chicago. The Pirates and Cubs. Buccos flying home after the ball game to open a 6-game homestand. The Astros in town starting tomorrow night. Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh, brought to you by Toyota and your Toyota dealer. Toyota Value, that's moving you forward. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines, nonstop service to over 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. The Chicago Cubs have a record of 8-9. The Cubs currently 3.5 back of the Cardinals in the National League Central. The Pirates are 6-11. Here's the Pirates batting order, brought to you by Dodge. In the number 4 spot is Darrell Ward. Ward's has a .400 career batting average against Kerry Wood, including a couple of home runs and 5 RBIs. And please note that Jack Wilson is not in the Pirates lineup this afternoon. Freddie Sanchez playing shortstop. Now the Cubs will be introduced. They'll be taking the field in a moment. The St. Louis Cardinals winning a 10-inning ball game yesterday, 1-0. Mark Mulder went all the way, pitched the entire 10 innings for the Cardinals. Roger Clemens pitched 7 scoreless innings. And the Redbirds winning 1-0, staying on top of the National League Central. The Astros, by losing yesterday, are 8-9, 3.5 back. In the National League Central, the Reds 3.5 out as well. And you can see the Brewers and Pirates sporting identical records of 6-11. The Astros will be in Pittsburgh starting tomorrow night. 7:05 games tomorrow night and Tuesday night. Day game on Wednesday. And next weekend, the Pirates host the Giants, and a fireworks show after the ball game Friday night, April the 29th.
All right, we got your Citgo scouting report on Kerry Wood. This just being his 4th start. Kerry's having a little control problems this year. He's walking a few guys. He's got 9 walks in his first 3 starts. Also a little trouble with the long ball. And we might have an interesting matchup today with Darryl Ward. You know, he's given up 5 home runs already this year and just 18 innings of work. Darryl Ward, as Lanny mentioned, has hit 2 off him in his career. So I think Kerry Wood, for us to get on him, if he's not effectively in the zone, I think we can get to him and hit a couple balls out of the park.
Now, the wind was blowing in from left field yesterday. The wind is blowing across this afternoon out of the northwest from the left field foul pole to the right field side. Kerry Wood, 67 major league wins, only a record of 67 and 51. Kerry Wood, a former #1 pick, 4th player taken overall in 1995 by the Chicago Cubs. And the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Pepsi. Corey Patterson not in the lineup, so the Cubs may be hurt defensively. Patterson's a much better center fielder than Jerry Hairston. Hairston from nearby Naperville, Illinois, and out of Southern Illinois University. Matt Lawton leads off for the Pirates. The Bucks 2-2 against the Cubs this year. Darryl Cousins, the home plate umpire. Jeff Nelson, Bill Miller, and Joe Brinkman on the bases. Here we go. First pitch of the game. Ball 1. Ball popping away from catcher Michael Barrett.
Home plate umpire Darryl Cousins off to a bad start. I don't think Barrett got any glove on that. I think it went right off of Cousins' shin guard there. He doesn't look too happy. First pitch of the game, about 90 plus mile an hour off the leg.
One ball and 1 strike. Lawton hitting .279. Pitch up high, 2 balls and a strike. The Pirates team batting average 15th in the National League. The only club with a poor team batting average, the Milwaukee Brewers. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Kerry Wood usually had pretty good control numbers in the past, and this year he's just not throwing strikes. And as I mentioned, you don't throw strikes, you end up leaving the ball over the heart of the plate, and you end up giving up more home runs, which has been the case so far this year.
Wood walks Lawton on 5 pitches. Dusty Baker, the manager of the Chicago Cubs, former skipper of the San Francisco Giants. This is Baker's 3rd year as the Cubs manager after leading the Giants for 10 years. Rob Makoviak from a southern suburb of Chicago takes a strike. Rob's averaged .326 with a home run. Outside corner, 0-2. Kerry Wood, drafted in '95, and he came up to the Chicago Cubs in '98. He was 13-6 with a .340 ERA. First big league season, 26 major league starts. 1 ball and 2 strikes. right-hander out of Texas. Runner going. Lawton on the move. Strike three. Throw to second base. Caught stealing. Just that quickly, the Cubs get a couple of outs. The strikeout of Makoviak, and then Lawton thrown out at second base.
Yeah, it looks like a fastball right there by Kerry Wood. Comes right at Rob. He takes it, and Barrett, unlike yesterday where he had trouble throwing guys out, perfect throw right there. Got Lawton fairly easily. Yesterday had trouble, Barrett did, getting rid of the ball. We had 3 stolen bases off of him.
Strike one on Jason Bay. Bay batting .290. A couple of home runs. One in the second game of the 2-game set in Cincinnati. The home run yesterday.
Wasn't for that 30-35 mile an hour wind blowing in from left yesterday, he probably would have had 2 home runs.
Great point. Swing and a miss. 1 and 2. Jason Bay in the 4th inning yesterday tripled off the left center field brick wall. Another pitch that appeared to be right there. No runs, no hits, a walk, a couple of strikeouts, and a caught stealing.
My recipe is simple. First, I mix up the butter, throw in some yolk, and then bring the heat. Lots of heat. Oh, look, I burnt them again.
Strikeout leader Oliver Perez has something special for the rest of the NL Central.
For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office.
It's the only minivan with Stone Go seating. And I got 0% financing.
It's got best-in-class cargo space.
And we need it. Bonus cash and a DVD player. It's got a 5-star side crash test rating.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Chrysler Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Now qualified returning lessees can lease a Town & Country for $269 a month for 39 months with $19.99 due at signing.
We got the Town & Country we wanted. Right here.
I want a bank that appreciates my business.
And over-delivers.
Surprise me with something. Surprise me with, like, free checking.
I want free.
As in, I get lots of extra stuff free.
There's no strings attached. It's a gift.
Free checking, free online bill pay, and a check card with Visa Extras Rewards. Getting more than you expect.
Little things make me happy.
It's as easy as PNC.
I want it with a big B on its chest, and it's coming to save the day. That's the kind of bank I want.
In between innings, the Cubs trainer came out to check on the home plate umpire Darryl Cousins. Cousins also conferred with crew chief Joe Brinkman. All right, let's take a look at the Cubs batting order. Brought to you by Jeep. For the Cubs in the number 2 spot, Nathan Perez. Perez 6 for 10 this year against the Pirates. Switch hitting second baseman. Perez played shortstop yesterday with Hairston at second base. The Cubs without Todd Walker because of a knee problem, and Nomar Garciaparra out for a couple of months due to the groin injury. Dave Williams starting for the Pirates.
PNC Bank scouting report for Dave. The other day, Monday, against St. Louis, had some early troubles, giving up 2 runs in the second, picking up his first loss of the season. I think Dave needs to get off to a good start, and left-handed batters only hit 167 against Dave. Unfortunately, there's only one left-handed batter in the lineup today.
That is Jeremy Burnitz in the 6th spot of the Cubs batting order. One and one. Hairston picked up in February from the Orioles for Sammy Sosa. Darrell Ward takes care of the ground ball hit by Hairston. So it is Ward at first, and he's on the right side with Rob Makoviak. Rob from Oak Lawn, Illinois. Rob Makoviak rooted for the Chicago White Sox growing up in the southern suburb of the Windy City. And second baseman Nathan Perez hitting .364. Takes a pitch inside, ball 1.
He's been like the bucko killer. We can't get him out. Hit a home run off of Oliver Perez in that last, when they were at PNC Park. Yesterday hit a ball that might have left the park. Wind kept it in. Went for a single.
Base hit by Perez past third baseman Bobby Hill. And it is a 1-out double.
As he continues to pester the Bucks. Staying hot. Nefi Perez, that's I think 7 for 11 so far this year against us. Something off speed, and Perez not the greatest swing at it, out in front a little bit, and just perfectly placed inside the line. Hill, despite Hill's diving effort, we still can't get him out.
And here's one of the hottest hitters in the National League. First 3 weeks of the season, Lee batting .413, second in the league with his .413 batting average, 17 RBIs, third in the league behind Pat Burrell of the Phillies and Juan Encarnacion of the Marlins. Derek Lee, a former Florida Marlin. And a strike called. This is Lee's second year playing for the Cubs after being with the Marlins in 2003 when the Marlins won the National League Championship Series from the Cubs, and then the Marlins went on to the World Championship 2 years ago. Well, good play by Cota. 2 balls and 1 strike. You talked to Derek Lee yesterday in an interview that was part of our pregame show on radio today. Anything out of the ordinary from Derek? Did he talk at all about this hot start that he's under? He's off to, rather?
A little bit. He's just really comfortable at the plate, and you know, this guy struggled earlier on in his career, and you know, it was the last couple of years with Florida. He started turning it up and swinging the bat a lot better, and you know, stayed with it last year, first year at the Cubs with 32 home runs, and you know, he's become a very productive major league player. I mean, he's one of the guys that nobody knows too much about him as far as, you know, he's not a well-known name, not a big name, but his numbers are so productive that, you know, it's just a matter of time to where he's, you know, one of the elite guys, a potential all-star player.
Well, he's going to have to move to the forefront for the Cubs if they're to be successful with Moises Alou and Sammy Sosa gone. Aramis Ramirez will also have to shoulder a good bit of the load for the Cubs. Pitch outside, ball 1. Ramirez hitting .238, 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Ramirez signing a big 4-year contract recently with the Cubs. Ball fouled away. I must say that I'm not sure that if things don't go well for the Cubs that Ramirez will be able to shoulder much of the attention and pressure. I'm one individual that believes that Aramis benefited dramatically from being with Moises Alou and Sammy Sosa. Those two guys taking on most of the center stage spotlight. Good play by Dave Williams, knocked the ball down and throws out Ramirez. No runs, 1 hit, the double. Perez left at third, no score after 1.
You know, that's the problem with umpire. 20 minutes later, you're hungry for another.
Skipper Lloyd McClendon enjoys chewing up more than the competition.
For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
The all-new Dodge Dakota is the mid-size pickup designed to give you more. Whether you choose a fuel-efficient V6 or the only available V8 in its class, you're going to get more room, more power, and more style. You're also going to get a 5-star frontal crash test rating and our 770 powertrain limited warranty. The all-new Dodge Dakota. It's a lot more truck. Qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Dakota Club Cab ST with a V6 for just $179 a month with 0 down.
There's never been a better time to talk with your doctor about Ambien, because now you can try Ambien free. Visit Ambien.com for details.
I'm Dan Potash, and you're watching FSN Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh fans come first.
Dave Williams taking care of the Cubs despite a double by Perez. No score after one. Dave Williams was asked the other day about what he feels his responsibilities are as a member of the starting rotation.
Our jobs as starters are just to keep us in ball games and give our offense a chance to do some things, and I've been able to do that so far. And you know, it's still a consistency game, so I'm just trying to stay consistent and do my thing when I get the chance to pitch.
David Aaron Williams, born in Anchorage, Alaska, as was Kurt Schilling. David raised in the state of Delaware. As Darrell Ward leads off against Kerry Wood in the second inning. Wood struck out 2 in the first inning. He caught both Makoviak and Bay looking at third strikes. I was talking in the first inning about the Cubs National League Championship Series loss to the Florida Marlins in 2003. Kerry Wood lost Game 7 to the Marlins. Wood walked Lawton to start the first, and Darrell Ward gets a base on balls to open up the second. That brings up Bobby Hill, former Chicago Cub. Hill acquired by the Pirates as a player named later in the Aramis Ramirez trade. Bobby hitting .409, and for Bobby Hill, his 4th start in the most recent 5 games at third base.
Bobby with a huge hit yesterday. Greg Maddux shutting us down for the most part until the top of the 7th, and a couple bloop singles, and then Bobby Hill with the big 2-out double to bring them both home.
No decision for Greg Maddux yesterday. 4th time that Maddux has attempted to win his 306th game of the year. 8 innings for Maddux yesterday. He allowed only 4 hits, and he had the lead. He was in line to get the win until the Pirates got the 2 runs off of Troy Hawkins in the 9th inning. 1-2 on Bobby Hill. You know, this week it has been mostly Bobby at third base, not Ty Wigginton.
Bobby Hill swinging the bat well. I mean, it's hard to get him out of the lineup. He's one of the most consistent guys we've had thus far.
Ball bobbled by Kerry Wood. He might have had a shot at the double play had he not lost the handle initially. Throw to second base to shortstop Cedeno, 1 out.
Yeah, he had to go off the mound to his left, and he got a nice hop. I think he tried to be a little bit too quick, maybe getting it out of his glove, and bobbled it there a little bit, and had plenty of time to get Ward at second. But if he comes up with it cleanly, he probably does turn a double play there.
Craig Wilson's average .259. Craig has only 1 extra base hit, a double. Center fielder Hairston, 2 outs, second inning, no score.
Yeah, Craig been having trouble with the fastball, and you get a great power pitcher like Kerry Wood up on the mound, and I would think it might be a good thing for Craig. He's having trouble with the fastball. The guys that aren't throwing that hard, but with a guy like Wood, you've got to shorten and quicken your swing. And I expect, like today, Craig's going to be ready for the fastball, and he's going to try to shorten things up a little.
First pitch to Cota, ball. So you're saying that he has to actually say, okay, I'm going to concentrate on starting my swing sooner.
Exactly, and just shortening it up, and not that long loopy swing he's had, for a lot of the at bats this year. It's just you kind of really concentrate on using your hands and getting the barrel of the bat to the ball as quickly as you can. You really just shorten up a lot of the movement you have in your upper body, and just really try to exaggerate using your hands.
Well, I would think that'd be difficult to shorten your swing.
Well,
ball hit inside third by Cota. Bobby Hill to third base on the Cota double. Second and third, 2 outs.
Yeah, and it's kind of strange because there's times you'll face a guy 85, 90 miles an hour, not throwing real hard, and you have a tendency to want to do too much, and your swing gets long. But harder throwers like a Wood or a Randy Johnson or a Pedro Martinez, you get in there and you minimize movement in your for me in my stride and in my upper body to just really try to shorten up my swing and just really just concentrate on using my hands and getting the barrel out front as quickly as I can.
Freddie Sanchez looks at a strike. Freddie playing shortstop this afternoon. Jack Wilson not in the lineup. Jack hitless in 23 consecutive at-bats. Ball hit well by Sanchez to left field. The ball drops to the warning track, scoring from third is Hill. 1-0 Pirates. Cota comes home from second base. The Pirates lead it 2-0 in the second inning.
And I just don't understand it. I just don't understand why you would do this right here. You got first base open, and Dave Williams is on deck. And, he throws a first pitch curveball for a strike and then comes right in there with a fastball 0-1. And Freddie did a great job, a good sinking fastball in the inner third of the plate and drives it down the line. But there's no reason to pitch to him there. The pitcher's on deck. Let them, pitch around him. Pitch around him, and then, let's see if Dave Williams can beat you.
Strike called on Dave Williams for each run the Pirates scored this season. Safe Auto will donate $5 to the Pittsburgh chapter of Special Olympics. You are safe at home with 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Freddie Sanchez, the game-winning pinch hit triple yesterday, and Freddie comes through with a two-out, two-run double. One ball, two strikes.
That just makes no sense to me whatsoever to give. I can see pitching to him, but pitch around him. Don't give him anything good to hit. Be careful with him. They throw him two straight strikes.
Pitch outside, 2-2. Interesting to confer with Bob in between innings. Bob has pointed out on the broadcast over the years that he's not a big fan of putting guys on early in games. But we'll follow up on that in a moment as we get ready for the bottom of the second. The Pirates scored 2 runs on 2 hits, and it is 2-0 Buccos.
At Geico.com, you can get free rate quotes and handle all your car insurance needs online. But we like to make it interesting. Here's an idea we received via email. Yo, I think your website would be the bomb if you had the gecko do the robot.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
When it comes to food, you need a light beer that measures up. Great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. Taste for yourself. Miller. Good call.
What a story we have to tell you of the unforgettable and the almost forgotten, of heartbreaking defeats and triumphant victories, dreamers who became Olympians, Pittsburghers who became champions, and champions who became Pittsburghers. The Western Pennsylvania Sports Museum, now open at the History Center.
You have to be here to believe it.
Climb in and buckle up as FSN takes you around the track. Every Monday night, FSN has race results, highlights, and interviews, plus an in-depth preview of next week's big race. Go around the track, Monday on FSN Pittsburgh, presented by Ford.
Final game of the trip. The Pirates coming home tonight, and the Buccos will host the Giants starting Friday night, 7:05 game time. Fireworks after the ball game, sponsored by Dodge. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or log on to Pirates.com. Or if you'll be downtown this week, stop by the ticket windows at the ballpark located at the corner of General Robinson and Federal Streets. The Pirates and Giants, Friday night, fireworks night, Saturday night, 7:05, and then next Sunday at 1:35. John, as quickly as Gary Wood took care of Dave Williams. I guess that adds even more credibility to your comment about why pitch to Freddie Sanchez. Ground ball to shortstop Sanchez. Dubois out number 1.
Yeah, and you know, and then there's no score. The weather, the cold, the wind blowing in. You don't expect a lot of runs to be scored. And a lot of managers will say, well, Sanchez hit an 8th for a reason. You know, we'd rather get Sanchez out here and have Williams lead off the next inning, and you're going to, you know, presumably have a quick inning or an automatic out leading off the next inning. But, you know, there's just no reason to give him anything to hit. I could see pitching around, seeing if he chase something out of the zone, but to come right in with strike 1, strike 2, it just doesn't make any sense because, you know, we saw it in San Diego earlier in the year where they did it with David Ross, and he burned them with a 2 RBI base hit, and it was Dave Williams on deck again, and he ended up getting a hit his next at bat. But there's just no reason to take that chance, I don't think.
2-0 on Burnitz. Burnitz yesterday 0 for 4, and he struck out 3 times. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-0 Pirates in the second inning.
And I could see if you're up 3 or 4 runs and you got a guy on second and 2 outs and the 8th batter's up, you might not want to walk him because you don't want to get runners on. But in a 0-0 game, I don't see why you would give Sanchez anything to hit there.
Three and 1 on Burnitz. Now 3-2. 2-0 Pirates, second inning. Jeremy Burnitz with the New York Mets, Milwaukee Brewers. A little bit of time with the Dodgers in 2003, last year a Colorado Rocky.
You talked about Ramirez and his role being in the middle of this lineup. You know, they lose Sammy Sosa, they lose Moises Alou. Now they lost Nomar Garciaparra for some time with an injury.
Struck out of Burnitz, 2 outs.
But I think it's important that Burnett's got to step it up a little bit too. I mean, it's a whole different lineup than it was a year ago, and you know, Burnett's has had some power numbers, but that's something there you see is he strikes out a lot too, and he struggles, and you know, he has his 30-some-odd home run seasons, but you know, that's a lot of offense to make up for.
Ground ball by Barrett. It's a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the second at the end of 2. The Pirates 2, the Cubs nothing.
I must say we're impressed with your firm's capabilities. Things are looking pretty good.
Thanks. I know you have a new office in Singapore, and as it so happens, I travel there about twice a quarter.
Good, good. Let's check the scores before we take off.
The new Jetta. It's all grown up. Sort of.
I know I was speeding, officer, but...
Can I see your license, registration, and proof of insurance, please?
Yeah, you need to see proof of insurance?
Is there a problem, ma'am?
Yeah, I don't have car insurance.
That's a problem, all right.
Driving uninsured is a crime you can solve with one phone call.
1-800-SAVE-AUTO. Save Auto.
Somewhere, there's a bass looking for a fight. There's a stretch of highway yet to be tamed. There's a ball longing for a fence. Wherever you're going, chances are there's a Citgo on the way. Because getting you there is the whole reason we're here. Citgo, for the road ahead.
You're watching FSN Pittsburgh.
Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by Jeep. Hurry to your Jeep dealer and see how good the best values in America can be. Top of the third. And the top of the Pirate menu. Matt Lawton Walked his first time up, but was caught stealing. Kerry Wood, the National League Rookie of the Year in 1998, the fourth Chicago Cubs player to be so honored. Billy Williams in 1961, Ken Hubbs in 62, and Jerome Walton of the Cubs in 1989, the other three. A couple of one-hitters in Kerry Wood's career, including the 20 strikeout game against the Astros May 6th, 1998, and a one-hitter against the Milwaukee Brewers in May of 2001. But Kerry Wood has already given up a couple of hits and 2 runs in this ball game. It's just the third inning. 3-2 on Lawton. Third walk from Wood, and each walk has come at the outside of an inning.
Yeah, kind of odd right there to see him throw a 3-2 breaking ball, but he's having trouble locating the fastball early on in this game. And you know, you saw right there with Lawton, he threw a 2-0 slider first strike. So maybe he just don't have the feel for the fastball just yet.
Ball popped up by Makoviak. Derek Lee makes the catch. One away in the third. 2-0 Pirates.
I remember watching that 20 strikeout game he had against the Astros there, and I hadn't really heard of Kerry Wood at that point. And, you know, and you expected so much more as far as, you know, winning games and Cy Young awards and everything else. And you know, he's battled some arm troubles. He's only won as many as 14 games once in his career.
Strike called 1-1, and we were commenting earlier about the fact that Kerry Wood pitched a very important game as the starter for the Cubs in Game 7 after that horrific, from the Cubs standpoint, horrific Game 6 when the Cubs thought they had everything wrapped up and they were on way to the World Series. But 6 slipped away because of the quote-unquote fan interference, and then Kerry Wood unable to complete the deal in Game 7. Game 7 won by the Chicago Cubs in the 2003 National League Series. 9-6 with Brad Penny getting the win over Kerry Wood. The Cubs losing to the Marlins in 03. Marlins winning the World Series 2 years ago. 1-2 pitch to Jason Bay.
They have a 5-run lead in Game 6 of the World Series. Were they up by 5 and then they end up giving up the lead? I'm pretty sure they're up by 5.
Bay strikes out for the second time. 4th strikeout for Wood.
Kerry Wood still not with the great location with the fastball, though he wanted that one up in the zone. See if Jason Bay would chase, and he did. But again, there he fell behind 1-0 and threw a 1-0 slider. He's really having trouble commanding the fastball in the strike zone.
Ward takes ball 1. The Pirates 2 and the Cubs nothing in the second inning. Cota doubled Hill to third, and then Hill and Cota scored on the Sanchez 2-base hit. Ward at first base this afternoon. Craig Wilson in left. Tyke Redmond not, or yes, Craig in left with Bay in center, and Tyke Redmond not in the lineup. Woods 2-1 pitch. Fastball high. Bobby Hill on deck. The 3-2 count after the foul ball means Lawton will be ready to run, and Derek Lee is going to back off on the right side.
See what Kerry Wood does here. Darrell Ward in a 3-2 count. Probably expecting a fastball, but Kerry Wood behind the count early on in this game, going to the off-speed stuff. Changeup.
The strikeout of Ward ends the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left on base. 2-0 Pirates at the end of 2.5.
It's jammed or something.
What are you doing?
Step back. What are you doing in my car?
Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines' new service from Pittsburgh to Chicago Midway or Philadelphia for just $29. Purchased by May 26th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Enter the pre-owned zone for the used car you want at the price you want.
I'm Mike McWilliams, and we doubled the selection of the pre-owned zone with Pittsburgh East Nissan and West Hills Nissan.
You're now just minutes from Pittsburgh's best source for used cars and trucks.
So forget about your credit problems and talk to the credit construction crew. Double the selection, double the value.
West Hills Nissan, top of the runway, Moon Township. Call 262-9020.
And the all-new Pittsburgh East Nissan. Business 22, Wilkins Township in Rowville.
That's 824-9020.
Time is running out to get a John Deere and pay nothing until April 2006. That's zero money down, 0% interest, and zero payments until April 2006. So why wait? Hurry into your local John Deere dealer today.
I want a bank that knows that business people aren't always very patient.
I'm a very busy lady.
The loan application process should be very simple.
It should be fast, and I should get my answer immediately.
I need to know now. I don't want to wait. Yesterday.
It's not a marriage proposal. That maybe takes a couple days.
Give us a few days. Not an answer.
A small business loan decision in 1 business day or less.
A patient person has lots of hair.
It's as easy as PNC.
Apparently, I'm not a patient person.
On the Southwest Airlines scoreboard, 2-0 Pirates. Southwest Airlines nonstop service to over 59 destinations all across the country. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. Ronnie Cedeno was called up by the Cubs when Nomar Garciaparra was placed on the disabled list. Garciaparra suffering the groin injury a couple of days ago. Ward runs out of room. They added new seats just past the Pirate dugout, past the visitors dugout. 3 new rows of seats between the visitors dugout and the bullpen.
There's where the ball ended up, and it landed just about here, just a couple feet in. These seats aren't here. That last year he got plenty of room and makes the catch right there.
2-2 on Cedeno.
Cedeno, and just 22 years old, his first major league at bat.
Three and 2 on Cedeno. You can see by looking at the third base left field line that they've not added the 3 rows of seats as they did to the right field line. At least not yet they haven't. 1 away. They added 3 rows of seats behind the screen for the start of the 2004 season, from the home plate side of the visitors dugout around to the home plate side of the Cubs dugout. And they're talking about adding seats to the areas in the outfield. Some discussions with some of the residents and some of the people that own the properties out behind the right and left field fences along Sheffield Avenue and Waveland Avenue. Kerry Wood, 7 career home runs. You're looking west down Waveland Avenue right now. 2 balls and a strike on Wood. 7 career home runs, 7 regular season career home runs for Kerry Wood. He also homered in Game 7 of the 2003 National League Championship Series against the Marlins.
Is that bad one? He's not the only one, but major league pitchers having more home runs in their career than I did.
How many did you have?
4. That's so embarrassing.
Why?
Just 4. In 11 years, 4.
How many years?
Parts of 11.
Well, there's the great thing about your career.
Yeah, I know.
11 years. Should be very proud of that. Also proud of the fact that you hit the last home run ever at Three Rivers.
I may have had 7 if I got to play my home games at Wrigley, though. I may have gotten 3 more. A couple balls caught at the track at Three Rivers.
3 and 2 on Wood. Off whom did you hit your first major league home run?
Al Leiter.
Where?
In Florida. Pinch hit. That was my first at bat of the year. So I had 1,000 batting average, 4,000 slugging percentage for about 3 weeks.
And Dave Williams walks Kerry Wood. 1-on, 1-out ball game in the third. Pirates lead at 2-0 thanks to Freddie Sanchez's 2-run double in the second. On Saturday, all fans receive Hannes Wagner replica statues courtesy of PNC Bank. Call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or log on to Pirates.com or visit the ticket windows of the ballpark. Game time Saturday, 7:05. The Pirates against the San Francisco Giants. Friday night, Saturday night, and then next Sunday afternoon. Jerry Hairston, the batter. Strike call to the inside corner. There was some talk during the offseason. The mayor of Carnegie wants to create a Hannes Wagner museum. That'd be great. Hannes Wagner, of course, favorite son of that hardworking community, Carnegie, Pennsylvania. 0-2 on Hairston. And the Pirates are not holding Kerry Wood on base. Double play. Rob Makoviak handles the flare and then flips the ball to Darrell Ward. A 4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, a walk, a double play. Nobody left on base. 2-0 Pirates.
Hey, Bucco fans, watch the Pirates turn a triple play and win $1 million. Tune in to $1 Million Friday on FSN Pittsburgh. If you're the lucky contestant and the Buccos turn an official triple play in the inning we've selected, you can win $1 million. To enter, log on to foxsports.com, keyword million, or send a postcard with your name, address, age, phone number, and email address to $1 Million Friday, care of FSN Pittsburgh, 2 Allegheny Center, Suite 1000, Pittsburgh. If the Pirates don't turn a triple play, you can still win $1,000.
Bud Bear Buick Pontiac GMC leads the way again. Get a Buick, Pontiac, or GMC under invoice. Buy the all-new Pontiac G6 or the all-new Buick LaCrosse at $100 under invoice. GMC Envoys at $400 under. Sierra pickup trucks at $500 under. LeSabres and Centuries at $600 under invoice. And you keep all the rebates. Only at Bud Bear Buick Pontiac GMC, Route 19 South, just 2 minutes past Sam's Club.
Bud Bear.
You know what I love about this place? It's all you can eat.
For All-Star Jack Wilson, dinner is 9 innings long.
For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office. After 3 innings, the Pirates 2 runs on 2 hits. The Cubs no runs, 1 hit. Time for the Aflac trivia question. Which 3 major league pitchers have struck out 20 batters in 9 innings? And I'm proud to tell you folks, our producer Brian Sipe before the ball game always comes up and asks the broadcasters if they know the answers or answer to an Aflac question on a particular day. And John Wayner correctly identified the 3. All 3 named by John, so we'll give you those names in the bottom of the inning. We're taking a look at the ivy here in Wrigley Field. When we come back in July, it will be green and grown in. Looking at the ivy, it reminded me of vineyards. Vineyards? Just for some reason I saw the ivy and I'm thinking vineyards and wine, and it reminds me that good friend Jack Fela underwent surgery this week. I want to send along best wishes to Jack. Came home from the hospital yesterday. Hope he's resting comfortably on this Sunday afternoon. Pitch outside, ball 1. You did a little working with Jack Fela, didn't you, when you were a player?
Yeah. Yep. Does he have a vineyard?
He has from time to time cultivated one, yes, and he also has his daughter. We watched the ground ball to third baseman Ramirez. His daughter and son-in-law own a vineyard in the Napa Valley.
I was just wondering why it made you think of Jack Fela. He hasn't. Well,
that's why.
Okay. Was he okay?
I talked to him yesterday. He's doing all right, resting comfortably. With surgery on one of his knees. Craig Wilson, the batter. Well, if you know Jack, give him a call. Tell him you're thinking about him. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And we'll check the answers to the Aflac question in the bottom of the inning. 2-0 Pirates. Is it somewhat understandable that a hitter would have trouble against the fastball early in the season? Is it a timing thing, or by now should Craig be up to speed with the fastball?
You would think getting to the fastball wouldn't be, that big a factor after spring training. Usually it takes a little adjusting to the breaking ball, but see there again taking another fastball, and Craig, and playing with him and getting to know him. I mean, he was always a great fastball hitter, and it's really blowing my mind how he's unable to pull the trigger at times, and he's getting beat by fastballs and just from mediocre starters, the guys that don't throw real hard, 85, 88 miles an hour, and he's just having a hard time getting there.
Line drive hit by Cota to second baseman Perez. 6 strikeouts for Kerry Wood, but at the end of 3.5, our Buccos lead Wood 2-0.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
Aflac. The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Aflac. Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
I gave you power. I gave you respect. So keep your mouth shut before you lose both.
The Shield. All new. Tuesday at 10. Only on FX. Check local listings.
Hey, how's it going? My Grand Cherokee's 4x4 of the year, and I got 0% financing.
Because it has amazing four-wheel drive capability, and it's trail rated. Plenty of cargo room.
5-star crash test rating.
And a great lease.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Jeep Spring Sales event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Now, qualified lessees can lease a Grand Cherokee Laredo for $289 a month for 39 months with $19.99 due at signing.
We got the Laredo we wanted.
Life is good.
I'm Rob King. You're watching FSN Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh fans come first.
For the bottom of the fourth inning, here are the answers to today's Aflac trivia question. Name 3 pitchers, 3 big league pitchers who have struck out 20 in 9 innings. John Wehner correctly identified. Kerry Wood, 20 strikeouts against the Astros in '98. Roger Clemens did it twice, '96 against the Tigers, in September of '96, April of '96 against Seattle, and Randy Johnson struck out 20 in 9 innings, but the game went into extra innings, so the record book does not credit Johnson for striking out 20 in a 9-inning game. Fly ball hit well by Perez. Into the wind. Nathy Perez homers right-handed off Dave Williams. The Cubs get their first run.
That's really amazing. I mean, Nathy Perez is not a very big hitter, and we've seen Bay yesterday try to go into the wind, and Sanchez earlier today into the wind didn't get it out. And here Neffy now, he's about, what is he, 8 for 12 against the Pirates? And Craig Wilson looks up and he's thinking maybe the wind will hold it up, but no, can't hold Neffy.
Talking earlier about the fact that the wind today is a little bit, the direction of the wind just a slight bit different. Yesterday it was coming straight in from left field. Today it's blowing across from the left field foul pole to the right field pole. Derek Lee 0 for 1. 1-1. The Pirates 2 and the Cubs 1, 4th inning. Two balls and a strike.
Talking to Derek Lee about the Marlins World Series ring from 2003, and he says you can't wear it. You cannot wear it. It is so large. It's, and I got to see Mark Redmond's, and it's really obnoxious. It'd be really hard to walk around with on your finger.
Base hit to right center. Derek Lee has a 7-game hitting streak. That's really something to call a World Series ring obnoxious.
Jeez. I mean, the one from '97 is obviously beautiful, and it's big and it's heavy, and the one from 2003 is 3 or 4 times the size of the one from '97. I mean, it would cover a small person's hand.
Ramos Ramirez 0 for 1, 1 on. Nobody out, a run in. And Cota wants to talk to Dave Williams.
It'll be interesting to see if the Cubs they can replace a Lou and Sosa. Burnett's, he's got power and with 5 or 6 30 home run seasons, and Jason Dubois they're looking for production from in AAA last year, and just 109 games had 31 home runs and 99 RBIs.
Base hit to center field. 3 straight hits off Dave Williams. The home run of Perez, back-to-back singles by Lee and Ramirez. Nobody out. Dubois coming up. In addition to losing the bats of Alou and Sosa, the Cubs are now without the skills and talents of Matt Clement. Matt signing of the Boston Red Sox. Clement last year had an ERA under 4.368, and he was 9-13. Spin Williams to the mound. The rotation of the Cubs that includes Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor. Carl Zambrano, 3.04 ERA at the outset with a couple of wins. Ryan Dempster has made a start against the Pirates this year for the Cubs.
If they could stay healthy, the pitching staff alone could take them a long way, and they got to be a front runner right up there with the Cardinals and the Astros. I mean, the pitching in this division is unbelievable, and as long as Pryor and Wood stay healthy, they've battled some injuries in the spring. If they're healthy, I mean, this is a tough place to come play, because there's no soft spot in this rotation.
Pryor bothered at spring training by a sore elbow. He started the year on the disabled list. And Kerry Wood in March had bursitis in his right shoulder. One ball and one strike.
The closer, Joe Borowski, on the DL. With a broken arm.
Hit by a line drive in spring training. Troy Hawkins a couple of saves. The Pirates were able to get to Hawkins for a couple of runs in the ninth inning yesterday for the 4-3 win. And some talk in Chicago that Dusty Baker's going to go with somebody else as the closer. Hawkins has 3 saves, 2 against the Pirates. Saved the Saturday and Sunday games a week ago in Pittsburgh.
And the fans here, just after 2 pitches by Hawkins yesterday, already started the booing. So I'm sure they're missing Joe Borowski.
Williams and Cota having some trouble getting together. They decide to meet just in front of the mound. Home run by Perez, single by Lee, and then the single by Aramis Ramirez. Dave Williams comes with a breaking ball in on the hands of Dubois. The strikeout is the first out of the 4th inning.
Yeah, that's a big out right there. 2 on, nobody out. And Dave Williams throwing the breaking ball. It starts in the zone, breaks out of the zone. Dubois swings over it.
Ball 1, Burnett's 4 strikeouts in the last 2 days. 2-1 Pirates in the Pirates' 2nd inning. Hill and Cota scored on the Sanchez double. Right here it's Lee and Ramirez as the running mates. Fly ball right field. Jeremy Burnett hits a 3-run homer in the 4th inning. Off left-hander Dave Williams. The Cubs 4, the Pirates 2.
That ball there, he gets it up, and the short gap in right center field. The wind wasn't really helping it, but there wasn't much doubt that it was going to leave the park once it left the bat. 1-0 pitch from Dave Williams, tries to come in with the fastball and leaves it over the heart of the plate. And Burnett's made no mistake with it. About 10 or 12 rows deep. Burnett, if he takes a big, huge swing, and you're going to get a lot of strikeouts, but 37 home runs last year.
You were talking last time he batted about how important he would be to the Cubs offense, filling in now that Alou and Sosa are gone.
Yeah, he's had some lean years. He goes to Colorado and found the stroke, I guess. The 37 home runs last year. I'm sure the light air had nothing to do with it, but didn't have a whole lot of success when he was with the Mets, and he went out to Colorado and got hot.
Fly ball by Barrett to left center. Jason Bay, Pirates center fielder, making the catch. 2 outs. 4-2 Cubs, bottom of the 4th inning. And now Ronnie Cedeno. Oh, 2. Kerry Wood on deck. Cedeno, the 7th Cubs batter of this inning. up and playable up behind second base. Shortstop Sanchez makes the catch, but the Cubs score 4 runs, and at the end of 4, it's the Cubs 4, the Pirates 2.
Today's specials: breaking ball, the fastball, change up, the knuckleball, and the hanging curve. I think I'll take the hanging curve.
NL Rookie of the Year Jason Bay is ready to feast again.
For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office.
Now is the right time to get the right Toyota at the right price, including the all-new Tacoma, the 2005 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Or lease a Tundra or rugged 4Runner for just $289 a month for 36 months with just $19.99 due at signing. Or get low 2.9% APR financing. Or take up to $1,000 cash back from Toyota on 4Runners and $1,500 on Tundras. The right Toyota at the right price right now. That's moving you forward.
Even close up, hair color should look natural. That's why today's Just for Men with X-Gray Science targets only the gray hair, replacing it with subtle tones that match your own color. In 5 easy minutes, vitamin-enriched Just for Men rejuvenates hair, brings back a natural look, no matter how close up she gets. Just for Men with X-Gray Science, the Rejuvenator.
Unfortunately, because of the postponement on Friday, we had one of our $1 Million Fridays canceled. We'll have another one coming up on Friday night when the Pirates are home to the Giants, and we invite you to send us a postcard. FSN Pittsburgh at the address you see on the screen, or if you'd like, you can visit foxsports.com, keyword million. If the Pirates turn a triple play during a designated inning on a Friday night, one lucky fan will win $1 million. Even if the Pirates don't turn the triple play, that contestant will receive $1,000. Sanchez leads off the 5th. 1-1. Jack Wilson batted 7th yesterday. Jack not in the lineup today. Jack hitless in 23 consecutive at bats, and the regular Pirate shortstop hitting 134. And 2-2 on Sanchez. Freddie in the second inning. A couple of runners in scoring position. Ball hit into the left field corner, bouncing off the wall, and Hill and Cota scored.
Freddie doing a great job filling in a few spot starts here and there, and had the big game-winning triple yesterday, and big 2-out double there in the second inning.
Chasing a pitch away. 7th strikeout for Kerry Wood. Brings up Dave Williams.
Kerry Wood going with the breaking ball. We haven't seen too many curveballs from him today. That was like the first one. A couple get me over sliders, but Kerry Wood with the big hard breaking curveball that he used a lot earlier in his career. Haven't seen a lot of that today. That's the first one I recall today as far as the hard kind of 12-6 breaking ball there to Freddie Sanchez.
John, how much do big league hitters talk on the bench and in the dugout about what they've seen so far, or how much a guy's using a particular pitch?
You'll talk periodically, and you know, and I'm sure they talked about with Kerry Wood today with like Darrell Ward throwing him some like BP fastballs. Not like a typical changeup, but I'm sure the lefties are kind of, you know, what was that pitch? It didn't look like a fastball, and it wasn't soft enough to throw a changeup. Like, so yeah, you're going to talk about something odd that you've seen, or maybe a particular way that he's pitching you today.
I guess the blunt question I have for you is, how much do hitters pay attention when they're not either at the plate or in the on-deck circle while they're sitting on the bench? Are they paying attention to every pitch?
Pretty much. If you're a left-handed batter and a righty's up, you might not pay as much attention because you don't really care how he's throwing to the righty. For me, when a lefty was up, you're going to get pitched differently. I was going to get pitched differently than the lefty. So I might not have paid as much attention, but I'm still watching the game, but I want to know how he's pitching to the right-handed batters in front of me.
Fifth inning, Cubs 4, Pirates 2. And Kerry Wood 1 strike away from striking out the side. Two and 2, 8 strikeouts today, giving Wood 27 for the year. 27 strikeouts in 23 innings. Three and 2 on Matt Lawton. Lawton walked in the first and the third. 4-2 Cubs, fifth inning. And the payoff pitch. Fly ball left center. In the gap as DuBois was unable to make the diving catch, and Matt Lawton comes through with a 2-out double.
Yeah, Kerry Wood last at bat, Matt Lawton throws him a 3-2 breaking ball. This time he comes at him with the fastball up in the zone a little bit, and Lawton stays with it and drives it the other way into the gap. Looked like it was going to stay up long enough maybe for DuBois to get over there, but DuBois sprawls out and about a foot short from coming up with it.
Ground ball hit by Makoviak to second baseman Perez. Out number 3, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on base. Middle of the fifth, Cubs 4, Pirates 2.
Join Rob King as he takes your calls and answers your questions about all things Pirates.
Bobby in Pittsburgh, you're on the line.
Someone's talking about the Pirates offense.
On the Line with Rob King every Sunday night at 10:30 on FSN Pittsburgh. Presented by Bilco Motors.
345 horses. That's more power than Ford or Chevy. It's got great looks, and I got bonus cash.
3 words. Cummins Turbo Diesel.
Heavy duty power with 0% financing? Done deal.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Dodge Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Ram 1500 ST 4x2 with a V6 for just $239 a month with 0 down.
Yeah, I got a Hemi. And the deal, sweet. I want a bank that's there when I need it, literally right there.
I want my bank to have ATMs by my house,
Near my workplace.
By the deli.
by the deli, yes.
To bank all night, to bank in my boxer shorts.
When you have online banking, it's like the bank is open 24 hours a day.
Free checking that gives you access to your account anytime, anywhere.
Have the money ready to go.
It's as easy as PNC.
I'd love a branch in my living room, but that might be asking too much.
You've got an entire life stretched out before you with all the joys that go along with it. Lucky you. It could get even luckier. Play Lucky for Life, the game of a lifetime from the Pennsylvania Lottery, and you could win $10 instantly. Luckier yet, you could win $3,000 a month for life. $1 million guaranteed. So it's like winning year after year after year for the rest of your life. And that's a long, long time. Lucky you.
Don't miss a minute of the action. Even when you're on the road, you can watch out-of-market Pirate games right on your computer. Sign up for MLB.TV now exclusively at Pirates.com. MLB.TV means live baseball. Ball popped up by Kerry Wood. Yeah, plenty of room for Darrell Ward. Quickly one out in the bottom of the fifth inning. The story the other day in the Chicago Tribune talked about, featured Gary, Indiana, which is located about 28 miles from Chicago. Probably the 3 most famous individuals from Gary, Indiana: Michael Jackson, Lloyd McClendon, and Harold Hill. And of course, one of the 3 is not a music man. Gary, Indiana. There's a U.S. Steel works in Gary, Indiana. Population of about 100,000 folks.
Who's Harry Hill?
Harold Hill.
Harold Hill? I never heard of Harold Hill.
You ever seen the show Music Man?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Heard of the other two.
Ball hit in the air to right field. And there were 2 outs in the 5th inning. A story about Gary, Indiana, indicating that when Michael Jackson was recently in Gary, Indiana, he dropped by Roosevelt High School, where one of his brothers attended. That is also the same high school from which Lloyd McClendon graduated. I asked Mark Vidonic to check the other day. Mark tells me that Roosevelt High School in Gary, Indiana, is named after the 26th president of the United States.
Oh.
Which happened, by the way, that's also what Teddy Roosevelt is one of Bob Walk's all-time favorite Americans.
Is that right?
A.P. Perez, a double in the 1st, solo home run in the 4th. 4-2 Cubs, 5th inning. Side 3-0. Commenting about U.S. Steel having a plant in Gary, Indiana. You live next door to a big U.S. Steel executive, don't you?
David Lohr. He heading to Czechoslovakia for some time, I guess. I don't know what they have him doing over there, but him and his wife are going to go. They just went out there this past week, and yeah, he's a bigwig.
Perez now looks at a count of 3-2, chasing a pitch borderline.
They built a ballpark in Gary, I think, U.S. Steel. One of the minor league teams over there.
Perez chasing another pitch out of the strike zone. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 5th. Out of the 6th we go. 4-2 Cubs.
Introducing Ortho Weed Be Gone Max. So revolutionary, it targets and kills the toughest weeds without harming your lawn. Weed Be Gone Max sprayed here. Ordinary weed killer here. Only Weed Be Gone Max has a foaming action and weed targeting formula for total root kill. So it killed the weeds, but not the grass. The ordinary weed killer didn't target anything. So it killed everything. New Ortho Weed Be Gone Max kills weeds, not lawns. Guaranteed.
Performance and protection that goes and goes. For 5,000, 7,500, or 15,000 miles, introducing new high-endurance oils for mobile. 3 new formulations that provide powerful, long-lasting protection of critical engine parts. For 5,000, 7,500, or 15,000 miles, guaranteed. New high-endurance oils for mobile. The oil that's changing oil.
You're watching FSN Pittsburgh.
Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. And by Pennzoil. Not just oil, Pennzoil. Well, Kerry Wood did bat in the bottom of the 5th, but he does not come out to pitch the 6th. Glendon Rush on the mound. Jason Bay struck out his first 2 times up against Kerry Wood. Rush's 8th appearance of the year.
Kerry Wood on the day, just 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts.
4-2 Cubs in the 6th inning. Cedeno to leave 1 away. Brian Vogel's song warming up in the Pirate bullpen as Darrell Ward steps into the batter's box. Pirates jumped out in front 2-0 in the top of the second. Sanchez doubled after 2 outs and drove in Hill and Cota. And then the Cubs in the fourth inning got a leadoff home run from Perez. Leon Ramirez scored on Bernitz's home run. Looper into left center field. Base hit. Fourth Pirate hit of the game. The first 3 were doubles.
Glendon Rush going away from Darrell Ward there, and Darrell just getting the end of the bat on the ball and serves it into the vacant area out in left center field.
Bobby Hill batting right-handed against Rush. (4-2). The Cubs on top of the Pirates. Bucks home to the Astros tomorrow night.
Yeah, Lloyd McClendon opted to pinch hit for Bobby Hill against Glendon Rush. Freddie Sanchez pinch hitting for Hill, and the big game-winning triple in the right center.
Ward running, ground ball off the glove of diving third baseman Ramirez. 2 men on.
Kind of what we saw last night in yesterday's game. Greg Maddux kind of going through the order fairly easily, and then we get a couple of weaker hit balls that go in and for base hits, and here we are in the top of the 6th, kind of the same thing, and with 1 out and the ball's not hit very well, and we got 2 on and a chance to get right back into this game.
Ball 1. Craig 0 for 2 in the game. Craig has just 4 RBIs, only 1 extra base hit, a double. Cubs 4, Pirates 2. Pitch up high. By the way, looks like Oliver Perez is going to pitch tomorrow night for the Pirates. Josh Fogg was scheduled to start today. Josh right now is slated to go on Wednesday. That would put Perez in the starting spot tomorrow with Kip Wells on Tuesday. Count 2-1. Perez against Oswalt tomorrow night, 7:05. FSN Pittsburgh coverage starting at 7, right after 7 on Sports Beat. Count 2-2.
Craig Wilson gets ahead of count 2-0, and Rush comes right at him with a fastball above the belt. He swings through, and then another fastball in the outer third. Craig unable to pull the trigger.
2 outs.
Wow, I mean, that's 87, pretty much right down the middle for Craig there, and it's still struggling to get to the fastball and not overpowering by any means. 87, he wanted it up, left it right down the middle. Wilson still struggling to catch up to the fastball.
Cota doubled and scored in the second, then lined out to second baseman Perez in the 4th inning. Ball's out of play, strike 1. 2 on, 2 outs. Buccos trailing by 2 in the 6th. Lloyd McClendon's ball club has scored only a total of 53 runs now in a little over 17.5 games. Pirates last in the major leagues in runs scored. The National League average per team is around 77 runs per game. 77 runs per team. Line shot right center field. And Burnett makes the catch. The inning had some promise, but nothing came of the 2 base hits in the inning.
Ding! You are now free to dip your toes in the ocean.
Ding!
Ding!
You are now free to see an old friend.
To forget what traffic sounds like.
Free to find your favorite state flower.
Ding! Ding!
That ding is just cracking me up.
You are now free to get a low fare, even at the last minute.
Ding!
Ding!
You are now free to follow your favorite team.
Ding.
Ding.
You're now free to enjoy low fares coast to coast.
With frequent nonstops to 59 cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
At Days Inns, it's not just about the change we put in your pocket, it's about the change we make in your journey.
We're going to make accounts payable exciting again. That's what we need to do, people.
In the time it takes to clean out your desk, you could save hundreds on car insurance. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Cool! Queasy, Chris. That's crazy. Eat essential vitamins and minerals, but it won't save you money on car insurance.
Oh, okay.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?
Bud Bear Subaru, the home of all-wheel drive. Bud Bear Subaru, the home of 0% financing for 60 months. Bud Bear Subaru, a certified stellar performer dealer in both sales and service year after year. Experience the safety and security of all-wheel drive in a new Legacy or Outback with 0% financing for 60 months. Bud Bear Subaru in the South Hills, Route 19 South, just 2 minutes past Sam's Club.
Bud Bear. All right, set for the bottom of the sixth inning. We've got to get this guy Rob King some more money. He's doing the special feature that's going to be aired in June on the 60 Pirates, and every Sunday night on the line with Rob King. 10:30 tonight. Rob has news and commentary about the Pirates, talks about the Buccos, and takes your phone calls. Rob King on the line tonight. Talk to Steve Tello, see if we can get Rob some more money. Pitch to Derek Lee, outside, ball one. Right center field. Coming in, Matt Lawton makes the catch, one away in the sixth. The Pirates trailing 4-2. And next up, Aramis Ramirez. Cincinnati leading Florida 2-0 in the ninth inning down in Miami. Pitch in on the hands of Ramirez. Fly ball, right field line, foul ball.
Wynn kept pushing that ball away from Rob Makoviak and thought he might have a play, and I don't know if he's got a little bit of a limp going there by Rob.
And we have a slight change in the direction of the wind. It had been out of the northwest early part of the ball game, now coming in more from the northeast, more directly from center field. Breaking ball, missing. 4-2 Cubs. Third start for Dave Williams. Third time this year that David has pitched into the sixth inning, 5 2/3 inning in his win at San Diego. 6 innings, the loss against the Cardinals 6 days ago. Strikeout of Ramirez, getting Aramis to chase a pitch down. 4 strikeouts for Dave Williams. But David gave up 2 home runs in the 4th inning. Solo home run to Perez. And the Burnett's 3-run homer in the 4th.
Yeah, really, probably his only mistake was that pitch to Burnett. He tried to get it in on him, and he left it down right over the middle of the plate. And that's where Burnett likes the ball. He likes the ball down in the zone and out over where he can get extension. But outside of that pitch, Dave has thrown pretty well today.
Count 1-1. Dave Williams due up second in the 7th inning. Vogelsong started throwing last inning. That is a swing. 1-2. Couple of strikeouts for David in the 6th inning. At the end of 6, the Cubs 4, the Pirates 2.
I got a great deal on my new Liberty. My all-new Grand Cherokee's 4x4 of the year. More cargo.
Bonus cash, more adventure.
5-star side crash test rating and 0% financing.
Join over 1 million proud new owners during the Jeep Spring Sales Event to get the most award-winning lineup in our history. Get 0% financing plus an April bonus cash allowance that can save you up to $7,000 on Liberty.
I love it.
Somewhere, there's a game waiting for a fan. There's a bat waiting for a swing. There's a ball longing for a fence. Wherever your love of baseball takes you, chances are there's a Citgo on the way, fueling the greatest of American sports. Citgo, for the road ahead.
Come here, guys. Look at our field. We can't play here.
We can fix this.
This spring, Briggs & Stratton is revitalizing youth baseball fields all across the country. Now through April 30th, kids can nominate their field at BriggsDiamondsInTheRough.com. The grand prize is a $20,000 makeover and a baseball clinic hosted by Hall of Famers Lou Brock and Carlton Fisk. Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you.
I'm Pat Parrish. You're watching FSN Pittsburgh, where Pittsburgh fans come first.
Here are the totals after 6. The Cubs 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Pirates 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Cubs getting 4 runs in the 4th inning. Leadoff home run by Napi Perez off Dave Williams. Back-to-back singles by Lee and Ramirez. And then after 1 out, Jeremy Burnitz homered to the seats in right center. Burnitz is 3rd of the year. And Cubs had a 2-0 lead until the 4-run Cubs 4th. Sanchez doubled in the 2 Pirate runs in the 2nd, and Ty Wigginton's in the on-deck circle, getting ready to bat for Dave Williams. Williams starting for the Pirates today because Josh Fogg has an inner ear infection. As a matter of fact, Josh has been advised not to fly with the Pirates back to Pittsburgh today. The plan was for Josh to drive back to Pittsburgh. Now 0-2 on Freddie Sanchez. Fly ball to right. Base hit off the 0-2 pitch. Ball bouncing away from Burnitz. Sanchez picks up his 2nd double of the game. Freddie, his last 3 hits have been 3 extra base hits.
Rush gets ahead 0-2, tries to throw a high fastball by Freddie, and Freddie just serves it down the line. Not much room down there in foul territory. Burnitz bounces off the wall, and Freddie pulls in the 2nd.
Wigginton batting 146. Ty has only 7 hits, 2 doubles, no triples, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Ty's made only 1 start this week. Bobby Hill playing most of the 3rd base because Ty is struggling and Bobby's been swinging a productive bat. Runner at 2nd base, nobody out. Glendon Rush worked a scoreless 6th, even though he gave up a couple of hits in the 6th inning. Ball fouled back 1-1.
And a lot of we talk about the Pirates and their lack of run production, and I think until you get one or two of these 3 guys productive, Wigginton and Wilson, Craig Wilson and Darrell Ward to drive in runs, we're just not going to score a lot.
And Jack Wilson too.
Well, Jack Wilson, we need to get him hot and on base up in the top of the order, and he's key too. But we've had.
You're talking about the 3 guys that drive in runs.
The drive in runs. We need these guys to start driving in runs. Craig Wilson just 4 RBIs. Wigginton just 2.
That was close. 2-2. Ball fouled back. Just a quick follow-up to the note about Josh. As I understand it, someone was going to drive Josh back to Pittsburgh. No reason for him to make that trip in the automobile by himself.
And I'm sure the balance is off a little bit. I guess if he has an infection in there, I'm sure they wouldn't want him driving whatever 500-600 miles by himself.
And certainly not have him in an airplane. Michael Wirtz warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Remember, after Wigginton come the left-handed batters Lawton and Makoviak. Runner at second, nobody out, 7th inning. 3-2 on Ty Wigginton. Cubs 4, Pirates 2, 7th inning. Foul ball came off the screen, almost hit Ty Wigginton or catcher Michael Barrett. Ball dropped down very close to home plate.
Glennon Rush coming right at Ty Wigginton too, a 3-2, and he's the tying run at the plate, and he just coming right at him with fastballs, and Wigginton keeps battling him. Hopefully get a hold of one of these.
Foul ball down the right side, not a play. Kerry Wood worked the first 5 innings. Wood is in line to get the win. Still a good bit of time for the Pirates to get back in this ball game. Sanchez to third. Cedeno's throw to first base, 1 out. On the top of the batting order, Matt Lawton.
Well, Wigginton does enough to get Freddie Sanchez moved up to third with less than 2 outs. I'm sure they'll concede this run, play the infield back, and they'll at least get 1 run home here this inning.
Ball 1. Four 2 Cubs, 7th inning. Now 1-1.
There's a situation here, a runner on third, and you're down 2, and it's the 7th inning, and you know Matt Lawton's not going to give himself up and try to make an out here, but he's, you know, especially if he gets to 2 strikes, I think it's important that he shortens up his swing a little bit and make sure he puts the ball in play and get home, you know, get this 1 run in to where we'll be 1 swing of the bat away from at least tying the game. You know, a lot of times in this situation, especially if you're tie game and if they're going to give you that run, you're just going to try to hit a ground ball, give yourself up to get the run home. But here, down 2, I don't see him doing it.
Fly ball to left. This may not be deep enough. Tagging at third, Sanchez. Freddie's not going to try to score. Throw way off the mark. 2 outs.
Yeah, it wasn't real deep, and you know, Dubois not a very good throw there, and didn't get behind the ball and just kind of short-armed it and kind of lollipopped it in there and way off the mark. But down 2 runs there, I don't think we're going to risk having Freddie thrown out at the plate.
So Lawton's unable to hit the ground ball to get the run home, and Rob Makoviak stands in 0 for 3. 0 for 4. No runs, 1 hit, a leadoff double is wasted. Sanchez left at third. At the end of 6 1/2, the Cubs 4, the Pirates 2.
When it comes to talking about Pittsburgh sports, no one is more respected than Stan Severin. If you want to improve your sports IQ, tune in as Stan tackles the issues with the top figures in the sports world and takes your phone calls. Severin on Sports Speed, weeknights at 6:30 on FSN Pittsburgh.
I want a bank that appreciates a small business. It doesn't nickel and dime me.
Otherwise, I'm looking for a new bank. I want a business checking account that's, what's the word I'm looking for?
Free.
Free.
You give me something free, we could, We could talk. PNC Free Business Checking. Right now, get an offer for a free BlackBerry when you open any business checking account.
Free feels pretty good.
It's as easy as PNC.
That's free.
Hey, I'm late for this award show. Can I get a ride? Come on, hop in. I tell you, Carson, the excitement here is tremendous. Look at that.
I didn't know P. Diddy drove a Diet Pepsi truck.
Don't scratch it.
All right, this is how I roll.
Hey, yo, P! Check out my new ride.
Slow, she's burning in your soul with whispers in your ear. You want it, she's got it. Molly's Hank gonna change your mind. She's got your pistol.
For 2 Cubs, this copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Pirates may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Pirates. Our general manager, Steve Tello, executive producer, Paul Kasuth, along with producer Brian Sipe and director Dennis Galloway, associate producers Mark Vodonik and Lynn Holden. Lynn Holden, the pride of Ohio U. And up here in the broadcast booth, the fabulously ebullient Kim. Thank you, Kim. As Ryan Vogel's song comes on to work the bottom of the 7th. Pitch down low, ball 1. Jeremy Burnett's a 3-run homer in the 4th. Ryan Vogel's song working as the second Pirate pitcher, 6 innings for Dave Williams. Vogel's song's 6th appearance of the year.
Dave Williams did all right. Just I think the one mistake there to Burnett's the 3-run homer. Outside of that, he had a pretty decent start, I thought. Only walked 1, struck out 5.
Three and 1 on Burnett's. The Chicago White Sox lead Kansas City 2-0 in the 5th. The White Sox have won 6 in a row. The White Sox off to their best start in franchise history, 14-4. Ball popped up on the left side. Shortstop Sanchez. And he makes the catch 1 away. The 14-4 start for the Chicago White Sox. They have a 3.5 game lead in the American League Central over the Minnesota Twins. Indians 6 back, followed by the Tigers and Royals. Michael Barrett 0 for 2 in the game. Seventh inning, Cubs on top 4-2. Ball 1. The guest conductor today for the Cubs Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Ernie Banks in the booth to our right. Today is Ernie Banks' 1961 Baseball Glove Day. Ernie Banks, the first National League player to win back-to-back MVP awards in 58 and 59. Won a Gold Glove in 1960, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1977. 512 home runs, 2,583 hits. What's that cap say? Busy is good. Life is good, busy is good. Inside 2-2. One out, 7th inning. Vogelsong and Dave Williams battling in spring training for the 5th spot of the rotation. Vogelsong won the slot, or rather Williams won the slot. David made the start today. Vogelsong coming out here in the 7th inning. Count remains at 3-2 on Barrett. Sanchez charging, gloving, throwing, and getting 2 outs. You know, the Cubs have not had a base runner since the Jeremy Burnett's 3-run homer in the 4th. Cubs lead at 4-2, 7th inning. They'll bring up Ronnie Cedeno.
Vogelsong here, although he goes to 3 ball counts with the first 2 batters he faces, it looks to me he's taking a little off. He's not trying to overthrow the ball. He's just trying to locate, and he's hitting his spots for the most part. Those 2-3-2 pitches he threw right where Cota set up. Only 91, 92. Whereas last year it seemed like he was throwing in the mid-upper 90s, quite a bit. It's I think for Ryan Vogelsong to be effective, he needs to throw strikes. I mean, he's struggled with his control over his career, and this year he got 6 walks and 7 1/3 innings coming into today, and that's a number he's got to get down and be able to locate the ball better. Sometimes he wants to overthrow the ball, and he has a tendency to elevate. When he gets behind in the count, he catches too much of the plate. And guys get good pitches to hit.
3-1 on Cedeno. Corey Patterson on deck.
Even here, he falls behind again. He gets another 3 ball count, but he's not missing by much. He's throwing it where Cota's setting up for the most part. Just missing.
Ground ball to second baseman Makoviak. 3 up, 3 down to the Cubs 7th. On to the 8th. 4-2 Cubbies over our Buccos.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, Bill stays in a Business King room.
Look at the space.
And feels like a Business King himself.
Multitasking. Chances of me working are remote.
Don't miss the redesigned, rededicated Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
Mazda's on the move in April. Bilco's Mazda's on the Move sales event continues with the 05 Mazda 3i for just $179 for 36 months. Drive the 05 Mazda 6i automatic for just $219 per month for 36 months. Bilco is the better buy.
Tonight at Red Roof Inn, guests get great deals at redroof.com.
Oh, that deal's hot!
And get a great deal more than they expected.
How low can you go?
Don't miss red hot deals from Red Roof Inn and Accor Hotel.
My recipe is simple. First, I mix up the butter, throw in some junk, and then bring the heat. Lots of heat. Oh, look, I burnt them again.
Strikeout leader Oliver Perez has something special for the rest of the NL Central.
For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office. This program reminder tonight at 10 o'clock, Pittsburgh Sports Tonight. Trenny Kusnarek and Ryan Burr will be in the studio, and you'll hear more about the NFL draft and the Steelers picks and wrap-up of our ball game. That's tonight at 10 with Trenny and Ryan. Pittsburgh Sports Tonight, and then at 10:30 on the line featuring Rob King. These changes for the Cubs in the 8th inning. Corey Patterson comes into the ball game to play center field. He'll bat 9th. The new shortstop, Napi Perez, shifts from second base to shortstop. Hairston moves from center field to second base. And the new pitcher is Michael Wirtz. Put Wirtz in the 8th spot of the Chicago Cubs batting order.
Wirtz has got, it's his 10th game of the season. 1-0. 1.13 ERA. He's done a pretty good job.
Jason Bay leads off the 8th. The Pirates trailing by 2. Freddie Sanchez doubled in Bobby Hill and Humberto Cota in the 2nd, and the Pirates carried the 2-0 lead from the top of the 2nd until the bottom of the 4th. Perez led off the 4th inning with a home run off David Williams. Jeremy Burnitz hit a 3-run homer off Williams. 0-2 on Bay. We were commenting last half inning about Ernie Banks singing or leading the fans in "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and then Ernie was visiting with the TV broadcasters of the Chicago Cubs during the bottom of the 7th inning. One of the controversies from last year, here's the 0-2 pitch to Bay, popped out of play late last year. There was some criticism of Chip Caray and Steve Stone, the TV broadcasters of the Cubs, claims that they had been second-guessing Dusty Baker, and even some of the Cubs players were critical, saying that they didn't like the comments of Misters Caray and Stone. And as it turned out, Chip Caray went on to join the Atlanta Braves broadcasting crew. Steve Stone was not retained, and so the new broadcasters for the Cubs on TV are Len Casper, formerly of the Florida Marlins, and Bob Brenly, former Arizona Diamondbacks manager. 1-2 pitch. Bay strikes out. First out of the 8th inning. Michael Wirtz was the winning pitcher for the Chicago Cubs on Sunday in Pittsburgh when the Cubs beat the Pirates 4-2. Cubs coming up with 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning to win the ball game. A big 2-run single by Derek Lee to win it last Sunday. And Michael Wirtz got his first major league win in 2004 by beating the Pirates here at Wrigley Field on September the 15th. Game in which the Cubs hit 5 home runs. Sosa hit 2, and Sammy hit a grand slam. One of his 2 home runs was a grand slam. Foul ball back out of play. Strike 1. Ward 1 for 2.
Wirtz, just 26 years old. He pitched in Iowa, AAA Iowa, parts of the last 3 years. He was the closer for the Iowa Cubs last year. Had 19 saves.
Two on Darrell.
Wirtz not a particularly hard thrower. Throws low 90s and a little slider. Good location for the most part.
Time called by home plate umpire Darrell Cousins. Three and 2 on Ward. Top of the 8th, the Pirates trail the Cubs 4-2. The Pirates have lost 10 of their last 12 games against the Cubs going back to last year. On deck is Bobby Hill. Ward walks for the 2nd time in the game. The Ward walk in the 2nd inning did lead to a Pirate run, though Darrell didn't score it. Hill had bounced into a forced play. Bobby Hill scored the game's first run. Top of the 8th, Cubs 4, Pirates 2. Good play by Lee to Perez, back to Lee. Cubs 4, Pirates 2 after 7.5.
Ding! You are now free to enjoy your flight.
And how little you paid for it.
Ding!
You're now free to have a frequent flyer program you can actually use.
Ding! Ding!
Ding! You are now free to find a low fare anytime you need one.
Free to sit in any seat in the cabin.
Ding!
Ding!
You're now free to fly nonstop to
Orlando,
Philly,
Chicago.
You are now free to enjoy flying again.
With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to fly to Philly or Chicago Midway for just $29 one way, which means
You are now free to move about the country.
This week on the best damn sports show, period. Cardinals ace Mark Mulder, NASCAR legend Jeff Gordon, and the lovely Pamela Anderson. This week at 10:30.
It's a wonderful world. I'm just walking on air. Talk of heaven on earth. I've got more than my share. Haven't got a care. Happy all day through.
Rico dependability moves your ideas forward.
Wonderful world.
Vacations, too.
Wonderful you.
I must say we're impressed with your firm's capabilities. Things are looking pretty good.
Thanks. I know you have a new office in Singapore, and as it so happens, I travel there about twice a quarter.
Good, good. Let's check the scores before we take off.
The new Jetta. It's all grown up. Sort of.
You're watching FSN Pittsburgh.
Last half of the 8th inning, second inning for Ryan Vogelsong. Pirates trailing by 2. And Corey Patterson will be leading off the Cubs 8th.
A great play by Derek Lee to end the 8th. In-between hop on his backhand side. That gets by. You got runners on the corners at least with just one out.
Bunt base hit for Patterson. First Cubs hit since the Burnett's home run in the 4th inning.
Perfectly placed down the third baseline. You know, this thick wriggly grass. You know, it hits in that grass and pretty much just stops. Bobby Hill was about even with the bag. I don't think even if he comes up with that cleanly, he throws Patterson out there.
Top of the order in Hairston. Cubs 4, Pirates 2. Bottom of the 8th inning. 1 on, nobody out. Ball bunted by Hairston. Foul ball. Strike one. Don't forget Oliver Perez scheduled to go for the Pirates tomorrow night against the Astros. Games against Houston tomorrow night in Pittsburgh. Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon. Off day Thursday. And then fireworks after the game against the Giants on Friday. Saturday night game, and a week from today, all kids 12 and younger receive Build-A-Bears courtesy of Bayer. 1:35 game time next week. Indiana County Day at PNC Park is next Sunday. We don't see Roger Clemens pitching in the series coming up. Clemens pitched yesterday. Oswalt tomorrow night. Andy Pettit slated to go for the Astros on Tuesday night against Kip Wells. Sacrifice for Hairston 1-3. Patterson to second as the Cubs have a 2-run lead. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or Pirates.com for your Pirate tickets for the 6 games coming up. Then the Pirates will go out on an extended week and a half road trip. There's Perez. 2 hits in this game. A double in the first and a home run in the 4th.
The only time we got him out, we pitched him out of the zone. He chased a couple of bad pitches. His last at bat against Dave Williams, struck out. Throw it in the zone, and he's gotten a hit every time this series, except that last at bat. He's been on base at least every plate appearance. 8 for 13 so far against the Pirates this year.
Inside ball one. It's the last half of the 8th inning. The Pirates on the short end of a 4-2 score. In the Pirate ninth, Craig Wilson, Humberto Cota, and Freddie Sanchez coming up. Throw to second base. Patterson back safely. We'll see who Dusty is going to use to close now that since Hawkins let one get away yesterday.
Chad Fox?
I think so. Ball fouled away. And it's Fox warming up right now. And that was the speculation among the members of the Cubs media.
Yeah, normally you'd see Chad Fox in the 8th inning there, kind of setting up for Hawkins. Michael Wirtz came in and did a good job.
Base hit to center by Perez. Patterson around third base. Throw to the plate. 5-2 Cubs. Patterson scores on the Perez base hit. Nathan Perez, 3 hits today.
Well, he's just hot, man. We just can't get this guy out. Everything we throw up there, it's fastball. Probably caught middle, outer third of the plate, and he just didn't try to do too much with it. Drives it up the middle, and Jason Bay comes up, gets off a pretty decent throw, but Corey Patterson, the speedy Corey Patterson, beats the throw.
Talking earlier about the Cubs losing their second baseman Todd Walker and their shortstop Nomar Garciaparra, and Perez warming to the opportunity of getting to play a good bit. Veteran middle infielder. Strike on Derek Lee.
Derek Lee hot himself. Former Gold Glove winner, makes a great play to end the Pirates' top of the 8th.
Cota doesn't handle the pitch, and Perez gets down to second base.
Just a breaking ball there that Cota pretty much just fanned on. I don't think it went in the dirt. It doesn't. He just kind of stabs at it. The ball was down, not in the dirt. Hits off the back of his glove. Derek Lee, former first-round pick of the Padres. He turned down a scholarship to North Carolina to play basketball. Did you know that?
I did not know that. 2 outs.
I think that would be a tough decision. I'm sure they threw a lot of money his way, but
might have made the decision easier. John alluding to the fact that Derek Lee was a Gold Glover in 2003 at first base. Last year, Todd Helton was the Gold Glover at first base in the National League. Perez at second, 2 outs. Ramos Ramirez 1 for 3 in the game. Intentionally walked. DuBois on deck. Ball 3. Talking about Chad Fox in a position to close it out today. Fox does have 5 major league saves, getting 2 while pitching out of the Brewers bullpen in 2001, and 3 saves for Fox last year while pitching for Boston. No saves this year.
Cubs at this point making good use of their hits. They've only left 1 guy on base so far today.
And Todd Hollinsworth comes out of the dugout getting ready to bat as a pinch hitter. The only Cub left on base. Perez stranded at third base in the first inning. A run in, 2 men on base and 2 outs. The inning started with the Patterson bunt single. Hairston a sacrifice, and then Patterson scored from second on the Perez single to center field. Cubs on top 5-2. Perez at second, Ramirez at first.
Hollingsworth is his third pinch hitting appearance of the year. He was 0 for 2 in his career, a .304 career pinch hitter with 6 home runs, 21 RBIs.
Two balls, no strikes. The Pirates scored 2 in the second. Sanchez doubled in Hill and Cota. 2-0 Pirates, and then the Cubs had a 4-run fourth. 3-run homer by Burnitz. 1 run for the Cubs in this 8th inning. 3-0. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. Perez to third, Ramirez to second as Hollingsworth takes first.
Sure, that's not what Lloyd McClendon had in mind when he intentionally walks Ramirez.
You remember Spin had gone to the mound and talked to Ryan before Ryan faced Hollingsworth. 7 career grand slams for Jeremy Burnitz, including one off Scott Sauerbeck of the Pirates in 1999. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The Cubs 5 and the Pirates 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike.
Vogelsong going right at Burnitz there. He wanted that fastball in a little more, I think. He left it out on the outer third. Burnitz swings through it.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Cubs 5, Pirates 2. Perez the runner at third, Ramirez at second, Hollingsworth at first. And Vogelsong ready with a 2-2 pitch. Fouled back to the screen.
Vogelsong trying to get in again, trying to go inside with the fastball and tie up Burnitz. And again, the ball kind of sailed out over the plate.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Up high, full count on Burnitz.
That's three straight pitches he tried to get in on Burnitz, and all three of them he missed his spot and left the ball out over.
Well, the runners getting set to break from their bases. 5-2 Cubs, bottom of the 8th inning. Everyone standing in Wrigley Field as Burnitz bats with the bases loaded and the 3-2 pitch. Runners going. Fly ball right field. Matt Lawton makes the catch. The Cubs come up with 1 run on 2 hits. 3 men left on base after 8. The Cubs 5, the Pirates 2.
Carl Lewis was unbeatable on the track, but his toughest battles came off the field.
I was on a steady spiral into depression.
This is the Carl Lewis you never knew. Beyond the Glory, tonight on FSN.
The Poker Superstars 2. The game's biggest stars at one table at one time. Competing for a purse worth over $1.2 million. Tournament continues tonight on FSN.
You know, that's the problem with umpire. 20 minutes later, you're hungry for another.
Skipper Lloyd McClendon enjoys chewing up more than the competition.
For tickets, call 1-877-893-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com or come down to the PNC Park ticket office.
Joe, you're glad we got the Durango, right?
Of course.
And you liked all the money we saved when we bought it, right?
Got us a bigger boat.
And how about the Hemi engine and the DVD player and the hands-free cell? Then why won't you use the navigation system?
I'm not lost.
Dodge Durango.
This is starting to look familiar.
It's a lot of great stuff for a great price. Now qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees can lease a Durango SXT 4x4 for just $299 a month with 0 down.
Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. And by Pepsi. It's the Cola. 5-2 Chicago. Todd Hollandsworth stays in the game to play left field, and Chad Fox is set to pitch the 9th inning, and he is in line to get a save. For the Pirates, Craig Wilson, Humberto Cota, and Freddie Sanchez. Then the pitcher spot due at 4th. Fox 9 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. Texan Kerry Wood started the game for the Cubs. Texan Chad Fox trying to wrap it up. And Craig 0 for 3 in the game. 14 Craig Wilson hits this year, only 1 extra base hit. Outside, 2-1.
Just a matter of time that we get Craig Wilson hot. I mean, this guy was a big bat in our lineup last year, and I think that for us to be successful and to score some runs, he's going to have to start driving balls in the gaps and out of the ballpark, driving runners home.
Count 2-2 on Craig.
It's really odd when you see him, and we've seen him struggle in the past. It's been chasing the breaking ball, but he usually got to the fastball, and now he's having trouble with the fastball.
1 out.
His 3rd strikeout of the day.
11 strikeouts recorded by Cubs pitchers today. Kerry Wood struck out 8 and 5. Cota takes ball one. Cota doubled and scored in the second. Sanchez to follow.
Cota's hit the ball well all day today. He hit the ball hard to hit the second baseman, and with 2 on and 2 out, lined out the right his last at bat.
Derek Lee takes the play. Takes it himself. 2 outs. 9th inning. Freddie, a pair of doubles in this game. He drove in the 2 Pirate runs in the second inning. And Tyke Redmond's in the on-deck circle. Should Sanchez keep the Pirates alive? Cubs on top 5-2. A 2-run Pirates second, 4 runs for the Cubs in the fourth. They picked up a 5th run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Three and 0 on Sanchez.
Sure, Freddie will be taking these next couple of pitches. Try to get that tying run to the plate.
High strike, 3-1. Fox drafted by Cincinnati, traded to the Braves, and dealt to Milwaukee. With Boston and Florida in 2003, a Marlin last year, and Fox walks Sanchez. And Tyke Redmond to pinch hit. Steve Baker going with Fox as the closer here this afternoon. Ball one, Tyke Redmond hitting only 139.
First pinch hit appearance of the year. Wind kind of stopped blowing. The flags are kind of laying, just hanging limp out there. And I'd like to see Tyke get a hold of one right here. Tie this thing up. Oh, I'm sorry. Doggone it. We're down 3.
Get Tyke on and have
Lawton tie it
come
up
through. There's the gunner used to say, we need a bloop and a blast. Foul ball off the foot of Redmond, 1 and 2.
So I haven't done a scorecard in so long, and I forgot the Keller and Patterson's run there that last inning.
Cubs 5, Pirates 2, 9th inning. Sanchez running. Foul ball. Freddie told to go ahead, take the base. They're not holding Freddie on. They're not concerned about Sanchez.
And they won't vacate. If he does steal it, they won't even throw it because the middle of the infield, they won't open up a hole for Tyke here.
Strike 3. Tyke tried to hold up. The ball game is over. Kerry Wood wins his first of the year. Fox gets his first save. Dave Williams, the losing pitcher. The final score, the Cubs 5 and the Pirates 2. Back with more in a moment.
It's a pizza night in Pittsburgh. The Smith family is about to take on one of Monticello's huge, tasty pizzas. Dad makes the call. The friendly waitress relays it to the trusty cook and then to your table. And oh, look at the cheese. Get in the fast lane, Grandma. The pizza's ready to roll. And Junior slams it down. Monticello's with 8 great Pittsburgh locations. We're more than just good pizza.
Honey, does this make me look fat?
You betcha.
In the time it takes to pull out the sleeper sofa, you could save hundreds on car insurance. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Can your glue do this or this? Wonder Glue can, but it won't save you any money on car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Why haven't you called Geico?